Alright everyone, what is going on? The BusterBarnes here, bringing you my match preview for Chelsea's away game, or I should say game at a neutral venue against Porto in the first leg of the quarter-finals in the Champions League. A very big defeat to bounce back from. I know I didn't hit you guys with my review of the West Brom game. I didn't really have much time and I thought about maybe uploading that today as well. But let's be honest, it was a dead, embarrassing, humiliating game from Chelsea, and I will be talking a little bit about that game anyway when I get into my predicted lineup for this game against Porto. I'll be giving you guys the team news for that game as well as my predicted scoreline as well. Hopefully we can see the Blues bounce back and being knocked out of the top four by West Ham of all teams at the moment will hopefully give us some motivation to try and make our Champions League dreams happen. Obviously the Premier League season isn't over yet, still some stretch to go. In a way, I do think that whilst I didn't want us to lose, it's maybe a result that Chelsea did need in order to try and progress and take that next step as a club. But I'll get into that a little bit later. I will give you guys a quick run over of the team news. And there was some injury concerns over Christian Pulisic, over N'Golo Kante and over Tammy Abraham. Well, I don't really think anyone really knows what's happening with Tammy Abraham. A big amount of support on Twitter for Tammy Abraham from Chelsea fans, wondering why he's not really been getting a look in. He was injured for a bit, and I thought he was still maybe a bit injured, but I guess we'll really be able to see tomorrow against Porto how he's going to be used. And I mean, a guy who's still our top scorer this season, was our top scorer last season, definitely deserves a bit more respect, and I think he's been scapegoated a little bit by Tuchel. You know, there's been like 2 games now where he's been brought off at half-time when he hasn't been the worst player on the pitch, when he's still offered some things. So, a bit of an interesting one, what Tuchel's sort of perception of him is. But hopefully we'll see him back in the team soon. He is fit for this match, as is Pulisic. Apparently, he just came off at half-time as a precaution, and so apparently he's okay. And N'Golo Kante as well will apparently be fit enough to be on the bench too. There was also a reported bust-up between Kepa Arrizabalaga and Antonio Rudiger. Apparently that's been sorted out and they will not be punished. Don't think Kepa will start anyway. But that's basically the team news regarding us. I believe Porto are going to be without their 2 top scorers for this leg, which is definitely something that we need to try and capitalise on. We definitely need to try and pick up a win in this away leg against Porto, even though I think both the games are being played at the same place. So kind of interesting how away goals are meant to work then, but I guess they'll keep it the same. And hopefully we can try and get some goals. Still not scored more than 2 goals in the game. We only managed the 2 against West Brom whilst conceding 5. Big reality check that was for us. But I will be giving you guys my predicted lineup for this game with the team news in mind. Edouard Mendy is going back in goal. Hopefully conceding 5 goals will not displace his confidence. Hopefully he'll still be a solid keeper. Against West Brom, guys, we weren't very good. We should have done a lot better. Even going a man down so early, we definitely shouldn't have conceded 5 goals. But in a way, you've got to give some credit to West Brom. Like 4 of their 5 goals were just quality, to be honest. Callum Robinson's, both his goals, Edouard Mendy couldn't really do much about. Same with the goal from Pereira, the second one. Yes, I don't think Edouard Mendy was really at fault for any of them. I just think they were a combination of poor defending and really great strikes, to be honest. There wasn't really much our goalkeeper could do. Going to the back 3, obviously a tough one. I'm sure there's a lot of questions over players. Got to keep in mind though that we were a man down and that did sort of rupture things in the team. However, there was a lot to be desired from some players. I do think the back 3 will be Antonio Rudiger on the left coming back into the team, Azpilicueta still on the right as the club captain, and I'm going with Thiago Silva to still start in the Champions League. Now I know he got the red card against West Brom. Obviously, he'll still be eligible to play this game against Porto. Oh, one more thing is Malang Sarr, who's on loan at Porto, won't be able to play. So I don't know if he was really a starter for them anyway, but that is still something to bear in mind. But Thiago Silva, he's had some minutes now against West Brom. He'll be looking to redeem himself. His experience could be massive in this competition. I think, he won't be playing the game against Crystal Palace either. So I think playing him again would perhaps be the right thing to do. Christensen, when he came on, didn't really do much. I mean, it's when we conceded the 5 goals is when he came on. Not blaming him. He was at fault for maybe 1 or 2 of the goals. But so was everyone really in our defence, to be honest. I don't really think you can say that anyone was particularly good, to be honest with you. It just all sort of fell apart. And I think Tuchel can be brought into question about that a bit, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But Yeah, I think he deserves another chance, Thiago Silva. I think he should start in the middle, considering he won't be playing against Palace. Aspi does keep his place, he's the captain. And yeah, that does mean that Christensen and Zuma do miss out. Just not very good against West Brom. They can both play a lot better than that. But, it's just a thing. When we go behind, this Chelsea team doesn't really seem to have a great mentality at the moment. And that's something that Tuchel really needs to try and ingrain into the players. But going to the wing-backs, a bit of a struggle deciding this. I am going with Ben Chilwell. Marcos Alonso did not play very well at all against West Brom. Thing is with Alonso is he'll pop up in the box and score a goal, and he does offer something aerially, but Chilwell's still good in the air and he's a lot better defensively, and once he gels a bit more with the team, I think he'll displace Alonso all the time, and I want to see him in this 11 definitely. I mean, this is the sort of leg where maybe you want to go a bit more gung-ho because they don't have their top scorers in the team, so maybe we will see someone like Alonso. But I do think Chilwell definitely deserves a chance after that performance. I'm then going to go with Callum Hudson-Odoi over Reece James. Now, this was probably the toughest one. I could see Reece James starting, but Hudson-Odoi, like I said, they're going to be without their top scorers for this match. They'll be back the match after. So I think this is probably when we want to try and score most of our goals. This is probably as well the away leg for us, which means that scoring more goals here would really benefit us. And they're in the same venue anyway, so it won't really be a difference, the home or the away leg, in terms of atmosphere. So I do think that we should try and go as attacking as possible, and I do think that Hudson-Odoi will be the man to start a wing back. Having said that, Jorginho and Kovacic are going to be the two in the middle. Kante's not going to be fit to start this match, and I don't see Tuchel changing the centre-mid combination. I don't see him playing Gilmour. I would love to see him slot someone like Mason Mount in that midfield too. I think he could do it. You guys have heard me before. He actually put him in there. I think, what game was it against? I think it might have been in the FA Cup game against Sheffield United. Obviously not the same type of game. But I think Mount has all the qualities to do it. He's, when you compare him to Kovacic, he's really got all of Kovacic's attributes, apart from maybe slightly less good at dribbling, but not even by much. He can defend, he can press, he's taller. I think that Mount definitely deserves a shot there. But with predictions' sake, I'm giving Kovacic and Jorginho another start. Hopefully Jorginho steps up. He was awful against West Brom. Definitely our worst performer if you discount Thiago Silva. Kovacic, I think he's a little bit deceptive. I don't think he had a good game either at all. I think a lot of people get tricked by the fact that he sometimes pulls off some good dribbles, and that makes people think he's had a good game, when I don't think he does. Every time he shoots, I just put my head in my hand. He needs to work on that because it's just frustrating. So yeah, they're definitely not in my good books at the moment. Those two need to rectify that. Obviously that's in isolation, though. They have been good for the majority of Tuchel's run. Now going into the front three, this was a difficult one. Going with Mason Mount, he scored when he came on against West Brom. I think he only didn't play that game because of his amount of games played for England. I think he'll be back in here in this important game. And I think that he's definitely needed in this game against Porto. I am also going to go with Hakim Ziyech. Only got like 30 minutes against West Brom because he was... sacrificed, I should say, because Thiago Silva came off. Don't really know why Tuchel kept the three at the back. I think he probably had to bring on like Christensen or Rudiger because it would have meant that Aspi would have been in the back four. But I feel like you bring one of them on for maybe James or Aspi and keep the back four and keep the attackers on the field. I don't really think he necessarily did that too well in terms of game management from him. Hopefully that's a bit of a reality check. But I do think that Ziyech, he did well in our last Champions League game. Maybe we can try and continue some form there. Lastly, the striker role. Now, this is the toughest one. I would love to see Tammy Abraham start. I don't think he will. I don't know what's happening. I have a really bad feeling that we're going to end up selling him, guys. No talks for a new contract. Don't know. No talks really surrounding Tuchel. It's a sad thing to see, but I'm slowly coming to that realisation. I hope that I'm wrong. Werner could potentially start. Giroud, obviously, European nights are something that he likes. It is against Porto as well. You could see him picking up goals in a game like this. Could be a really big foil for someone like Pepe. However, I think I'm going for Kai Havertz to start up front. He didn't play against West Brom. He has been in some good form on the international break and just before that as well for us. So I think we're going to see Ziyech Mount and Havertz sort of integrating into that front three. Could be wrong, Giroud could be the right person. I wouldn't be surprised if he started, but that is going to be my team for that game, guys. Do let me know in the comments down below what you think, who you would start, who you think will start. Obviously, this is my predicted 11. If I was going for maybe my fantasy 11, I'd have some different players in there, but that's not the game, so that is what we are going with. Going with the predicted scoreline here. Obviously, we've just come off a big loss against West Brom. Whether that will hamper our confidence or not, I'm not sure. It could go one of two ways. Against West Brom, I think I predicted us to win 2-0. How wrong was I there? I mean, I got the 2 goals, to be fair. But I don't think we're going to score more than 2 goals just because there's no evidence of us doing that. So I can't really go with it until it happens. 2-0, they're without their top scorers. Lacking a little bit of confidence in the defence now, but we will have some people in the personnel back. I'm going to go with 2-0 again, 2-0 Chelsea, 2 away goals, and hopefully that will be enough to see us through to the second leg where we can shut up shop just a little bit more and maybe try and win that game too and show a dominant display in the quarterfinals before going up against Real Madrid or Liverpool. Have a feeling it will be Liverpool, but that match is going to be tonight as I'm recording. Obviously this video will go up before the Chelsea game against Porto. Hopefully Madrid go through. I'd definitely rather face them than Liverpool, but I don't see it happening. But yeah guys, this is my preview. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and comment your thoughts down below. As always, do subscribe for more Chelsea FC content. My review for the game will be up after it does finish, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully after a big W, and yeah, hopefully we can get back to the winning ways after what was a very embarrassing defeat. Actually, one more thing to say, I did give you guys my player of the season point scoring system still for the West Brom game. I gave 1 point to Mount and 1 point to Pulisic because they both scored, and I give 1 point to Reece James as well because I thought he was one of the better performers of a pretty poor side. So yeah, you'll see how those points have tallied up at the end. Almost forgot about that, but I didn't. And yeah, hope you guys do have a nice day. Hopefully we win. Come on Blues. See you next time.